What's going on, everybody? This is James, live from the quarantine studios of Foodwell Alliance at my house in East Atlanta. Very excited to be joining you again today. Wanted to give you all some updates about what's going on in local food in and around Atlanta. And also we're going to talk to a few people doing the work on the ground. Very excited about our lineup today. We're going to start off by talking with Eva Dickerson at Thomasville Heights Farm. They have an amazing project going on in Thomasville Heights that we're excited to share more about. We're also going to be talking with Katherine Kennedy at Concrete Jungle. Katherine and her organization have been doing a lot of emergency food response, especially working with food pantries. As you can imagine, there's a huge critical need right now, so we're excited to hear about what they're doing, but more importantly, how we can contribute and support those efforts. We're also talking our first repeat guest of the show is Sara Lamond of Community Farmers Markets. Now, if you haven't heard, CFM made the decision to close their Atlanta area markets for the next 2 weeks. Well, the Grant Park market was the only one that was currently open. They've delayed the opening of any other markets, and Grant Park is taking at least a 2-week. Hi, Brittany. Taking a 2-week break, and so they've actually shifted to an online farmers market, which is really amazing. I actually ordered on there this morning, so I'm excited to talk to her about that, about what that process has been and how they plan to expand or add to that, because it's very much in its early stages. So before we get into, before Eva joins the call, I just wanted to share a few other things that I've learned or seen in the food space or beyond in the last week. Very similar to last week, we had almost 7 million people file for unemployment. Seeing massive numbers of unemployment. That's about 10% of the overall workforce. So we again wanted to shout out Wholesome Wave, Georgia. If you are in need of SNAP or EBT because of your potential unemployment or just in general, frankly, go to Wholesome Wave, Georgia. They have a lot of information about how you can enroll in SNAP and EBT and also how you can access those funds. You can double your dollars at farmers markets. And there's been some really creative ways of using SNAP and EBT. Something you may not know is that it's not available for online purchasing. So there's been a lot of creativity about getting around that so that SNAP and EBT customers can also take advantage of all of the shift to online that's been happening. So definitely check out Wholesome Wave, Georgia, if you need any support there. Really cool initiative called Feeding the Front Lines, led by Georgia Organics and the Common Market Southeast. They have partnered to feed, I think they said 16 area hospitals, providing them hospital workers with lunches, partnering with local restaurants and local farmers to feed our frontline workers. So really, really critical work to get these workers not only just food in general, because they're all working double shifts, but the healthiest food we can possibly provide them. So I'm hoping to speak with someone at Georgia Organics or the Common Market in the next couple of weeks so we can get an update on that, but just wanted to give them a huge shout out for that. Willie Miller down in the city of South Fulton has pulled off an amazing partnership to mobilize 50 raised bed gardens for citizens or residents in the city of South Fulton. So shout out to Willie Miller for that. We do think that gardening is going to become a really, really critical, fill a really critical need here in the next few months as supply chains continue to get disrupted regarding food. And just a couple of things going on. At Foodwell Alliance, we have started exploring a partnership with Captain Planet Foundation to try to activate more school gardens that are now being, no one's at the school to take care of them. So we're hoping to get that project going soon. We have some Plant, Eat, Repeat videos, our spring garden workshop. Those are underway. We got a peek at our first draft this week, so we're excited to hopefully start rolling those out too soon. So shout out to the Atlanta Botanical Garden, especially Mo, for her work on that. And we got some exciting things happening in East Point that we're hoping to be able to share in the next week or two as well. So stay tuned for that. Wanted to give a shout out to Jamie Rosenthal and Brother Holmes for joining us last week. As you may remember, they have seedlings and garden consultations and can help you, figure out food in your neighborhood, in your yard, how you can do it ecologically friendly in a design-friendly way. So check out Roots Down, Georgia, and Soul Spirit Farms. Doing some really cool work. Shout out to Nuri as well. His plant sale is still going on, and he actually installed 2 raised beds in my yard this week. They look fantastic, so I highly recommend Urban Sprout Farms. A couple of online stores, and I'm sure that I'm missing some, so feel free to leave a note in the comments if there's any more. But Grow with the Flow LLC now has their online store going, as does Freewheel Farm. And Truly Living Well is doing some really cool things with the drive-through CSA. So shout out to everyone who's moving online, who's really adapting super quick with this crazy time. It's really important that, all this effort we're putting in to connect people to food is just so critical right now. So thank you for all the work that's going on. Speaking of, we are about to be joined by Thomasville Heights Farm and Eva Dickerson, who's somehow streaming right now from Thomasville Heights Farm and her personal account. So I'm going to try adding your Thomasville Heights Farm account and hear more about what is going on in Thomasville Heights. Really cool initiative, partnering, combining a bunch of different partners to feed families. Let's see what's going on at the farm. Hey, Eva, how you doing?
Hey, okay, cool. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you loud and clear.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having me on.
Yeah, no, of course. Thank you. I'm very excited to learn more about and share what it is you're doing. So just to start with, can you just kind of give an overview of what you're doing in Thomasville Heights and sort of what the overall goal is there?
Yeah, absolutely. Sorry, I'm in my car. I was like on my partner's phone and my phone because we're like, the phones are being finicky. But yes, this year is my first season as the full-time farmer educator at Thomasville Heights Elementary School. It's a really unique program in partnership with the Padea Urban Ag program and the Metro Atlanta Women's Transition Center. Our 3 sites make up a cooperative called the Grassroots Growers Alliance, where we use agroeducation practices to empower different communities to know that food can transform the landscape of the city. At Thomasville Heights, our students come to the farm like they would to any other enrichment class. So they go to dance and they go to gym, and some of our students get to go to farm class where they learn not only about the food system, but the impact that the food system has on their lives with me. And we have a lot of fun. We grow a lot of food. We feed people all across Atlanta with our food because we work so closely with our Grassroots Growers Alliance comrades. And they go on field trips to different farms. We watch movies about different farms. We plan out our different farms. All of the food is grown by them. Actually, it's really abnormal that I'm at the farm right now without them. It's been so quiet. The quiet is so odd because I'm so used to oh my God, Farmer Eve, I found a worm! Noise every 5 seconds. Yeah, but we have a lot of fun.
Well, that's great to hear. So, are any of the students able to come out and join, or are you really just holding down the farm by yourself these days?
So I'm actually not alone. As you've seen, Atlanta was so quickly able to turn a dime and adjust to this COVID crisis. And so many of my friends who typically would be at their 9-to-5 jobs have offered to come to the farm. Our site is big enough where it's I'll work on these beds over here. You weed those carrots over there. We'll wear our masks. We'll reconvene at lunch. We'll stay safe. And so it's been nice to farm with people who are older than 12. But it's definitely been adjusted, but I haven't been alone. And I really appreciate all the support and love everyone around me has shown.
Yeah, no, that's so critical at this time. So I was just kind of wondering if you could explain a little bit more about the partnership with the Alliance and how y'all are working together to get this food out into your community?
Yeah, so to give a little context, the farm was started in 2000, last year, so late 2018, 2019, when the science teacher, Miss Burrows, Ayanna Burrows, reached out to Tanya Herbert at Paideia to talk about their urban agriculture program. And Tanya and Aaron came to Thomasville, and alongside some help from a local Trader Joe's, they were able to like build a few beds, and it was so much fun and such a success that they kept building the farm out more and more.
Oh, wow.
And a similar process happened with Metro Atlanta Women's Transition Center, where Paideia was able to redistribute their knowledge and their resource to help other communities build up agricultural programs. And so between the Paideia site, which is now at the Berea farm, if anyone's been over there, it's really beautiful. But the Paideia site, our site, and the Metro Atlanta Women's Traditional site, we plan what we're going to grow together. We buy resources together, and we support a lot of the same communities. So sometimes what will happen is like, my site doesn't have enough chard. Maybe the transition center will fill that in, and I'll just fill in with collards. And Paideia will support with ginger or carrots and things like that. For the specific families that are served by our farm, we partner with Focus Community Strategies, which is a self-organized cooperative of elders who live in the Thomasville area, and let us know like what types of food they want, how many shares they need. And so that's typically where the food would be going, but food is going directly to our students because we know because of education inequity and other social inequities, when school is out, there's a strong likelihood that a lot of those students aren't getting food. So thanks to us already having the Alliance infrastructure, we were able to quickly adjust.
Yeah, no, I think that's great. And I love the fact that you, it looks like we may be losing you, Eva.
Hello?
Yeah, I can still hear you. That's the good news. But your face is frozen. No, there you go. So let's see if we can quickly get that back going. Trying to just add Eva on her other phone for one last question. Hey, Eva, you're back.
Hey, we figured it out.
Okay, great. Well, just really quick, wanted to give you a chance to talk about the People's Market. Just kind of in general, like if how opening day is looking and what kind of safety precautions y'all might be doing, but also in general, as we talked yesterday, just kind of about your overall philosophy behind the market.
Yeah, okay, I'd love to. I'm actually very grateful for this opportunity to talk about it. The People's Market ATL, formerly known as Westside Farmers Market ATL, is a farmers market that honors that farmers are the cornerstone of our market, but also acknowledges the way that markets are really a chance for social innovation. And like I said yesterday, for communities to practice loving each other. This season will be my first season as the full-time manager, which I'm really excited about. And I'm really hopeful for the opportunity to bring a new, fresh flavor to the market, which is rooted in the idea that, like, if we have all of these people here who are connecting over food, what other connections can we make to further empower our community socially, economically, really artistically and culturally? Like, what culture do we want to facilitate and foster for our community that's rooted in this market? I'm really excited to be partnering with a lot of people to bring like health aspects to the market, but also touch base on a lot of the different populations that come to our market, you know, like really creative and innovative young people's programming that caters to the elders in our community, because like one thing you'll notice about the West Side is like we really love and value our elders. Programming that allows people to get small businesses the attention that they need and the support that they need, and really mentorship from the market team towards the small businesses we're trying to foster. So yeah, it's like tricky with all this COVID stuff, like when will we open? But right now what we're trying to do is find a way that we can be in service to our communities, because if not now, when could we better be in service to our communities?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. And you know, love your focus and love all the work you're doing. So thank you so much.
Thank you. This was really fun.
even if the technical challenges made it a little more interesting, it was great to make this connection. So thank you for your time, and yeah, we'll check in with you again in the future.
Awesome. Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye. All righty. Thank you, Eva, again, one more time. Amazing work happening in Thomasville. We are going to quickly transition over to Concrete Jungle. I think they're standing by to talk about their emergency food response, particularly working with some food pantries. Catherine, how's it going?
Hey, how are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. Am I to understand correctly that this is your first Instagram Live?
It is my first Instagram Live, and I am terrified. I'm trying to get a nod of myself. This is really hard. This is why I don't like the Zoom meetings that are happening either. I look at myself and I think about all the weird things going on with my face. Anyways, you look great.
Oh, well, thanks. I'm grateful for these live streams because it's a good reminder.
Seniors are food insecure.
So, it's really, really important.
I haven't done that, and I've been wearing the same.
Love and value our elders. Programming that allows people to get small businesses the attention that they need and the support that they need, and really mentorship from the market team towards the small businesses we're trying to foster. So, yeah, it's like tricky.
Am I to understand correctly that this is your first Instagram Live?
It is my first Instagram Live, and I am terrified. I'm trying to get a nod of myself. This is really hard. This is why I don't like the Zoom meetings that are happening either. I look at myself and I think about all the weird things going on with my face. Anyways, you look great.
Oh, well, thanks. I'm grateful for these live streams because it's a good reminder that I got to shower. So, it's really, really important.
I haven't done that, and I've been wearing the same clothes for the past few days. But I did just spend 2 hours at Sam's Club. I feel like it's time to shower.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea. Best practice if you're going to a grocery store is definitely get those clothes in the dry wash, take a shower, get yourself clean. Come on, girl. You got to stay healthy.
I'm trying. I couldn't get myself together before this, but I'm glad to be here with y'all.
Yeah, no, I'm super grateful that you're here, and of course for all the work you're doing. We had a chance to connect a little bit, I think, yesterday, and just kind of give a little preview. But could you just tell everyone, high level, what does Concrete Jungle usually do, and what have you shifted your focus entirely towards during this pandemic?
Sure. So Concrete Jungle ordinarily picks fruit all over the city, and we have a farm in southwest Atlanta, and we additionally glean from larger scale farms outside of the city to donate the produce to local soup kitchens and food pantries. And we are still farming, and we are waiting for fruit season. So our programming will continue on, obviously, with some contingencies, like only having, 10 volunteers out on the farm at a time. But as we've found in our work over the past 10 years, there's an incredible need for fresh food in our community. And that's more true than ever now with what's going on with COVID-19. And unfortunately, a lot of our food pantry partners are running out of food. People are going to the grocery store and they're going crazy, and they are, rightfully so. Like, people are trying to do the right thing and stay home. But that means there's a lot less excess at the grocery stores for our pantries, because a lot of them get whatever's left over from the retailers. But additionally, being food insecure puts you in a couple of demographics most likely. A lot of seniors are food insecure. Food insecure people are 2 to 3 times more likely to have chronic disease like diabetes, hypertension, heart disease, asthma. And unfortunately, those categories are part of, the people that are at highest risk for contracting corona and having really serious health outcomes. So we just think if we want to keep serving this community that we've been working in for the past 10 years, we need to go directly to them. So we started an emergency grocery delivery service. So basically, we're working with some of our pantry partners to use their resources to bag up groceries, and then our volunteers to deliver. We're also aggregating groceries, so that's why I went to Sam's Club. And then I actually got a delivery from Common Market, which Common Market's been amazing. And, we sort of told them what we need or what's on our shopping list, and they've helped however they can. And, the Atlanta Botanical Gardens has given us food. The Atlanta History Center has given us food.
Wow.
I think there's an interesting question right now that you probably know better, and we sort of talked about this, about farms who have excess and how can we work together to make sure that people who really need fresh produce are getting it, but also make sure the farmers are taken care of. But basically, we started this grocery service 3 weeks ago, and we were the only emergency grocery delivery service on 211, and we got 60 calls within 3 hours one morning, and we were like, okay, this is a big deal. Like, this is a real thing. There are a lot of people that are really scared right now, especially seniors. And so our first week we served 90 families. Our second week we served 180 families, and this is our third week, and we're serving 215 families. But I think there's so much room to grow. Are stopping. They're doing deliveries in like a senior living facility. They get asked by so many more seniors, can you bring us groceries too? So the need is huge, and we've been so incredibly lucky. We've teamed up with Repair the World, which is a Jewish social justice and community service organization, and they've been, a partner through and through helping us get this started. The Concrete Jungle board and our existing volunteer base has showed up in big ways. People are working kind of around the clock to make this thing happen, because obviously it's a lot of moving pieces, 215 families, but on the other side, we've had 220 volunteers sign up to help. And so the volunteers are, they're packing groceries, they're shopping for groceries, they're delivering, they're on the phone calling the clients and telling them the groceries are coming. A lot of them are helping with the logistics behind the scenes. We have a sponsorship program, so some volunteers are just buying groceries out of their own pocket and then delivering them to families. And these sponsors, some of them are keeping up and doing it every single week, and have kind of developed these amazing at a distance relationships with their sponsored family.
Wow.
So yeah, I think this is a really scary time, but I've been really inspired by how many people want to help and how many people are being so creative and going above and beyond to make things happen. We have 3 volunteers who are making cloth face masks for us to share with our volunteers, but also with the clients. There's a lot of ways for people to plug in and feel like they can help. And I'm so humbled and grateful for how many people have just stepped up to do whatever they can.
Yeah, it's just on so many different levels. It's really been amazing to see people come together in support of one another. Eva and all the work she was talking about just a minute ago in the same way. It's been so inspiring. I want to give you a chance to talk about how people can support or plug in a second, but one thing I was just curious about, because I know there's been a lot of questions about this, but the delivery aspect specifically to someone's door, how have y'all been managing that specifically? How has that specific piece come together?
Yeah, so the goal is that I think some of the clients really do want contact with the delivery driver. I think people want contact. I think that's why people are volunteering, but the clients are instructed specifically to not answer the door when a driver shows up. So a driver will either show up at a pantry, or they will purchase the groceries themselves, or they will pick up from one of the places where we're aggregating food, and they have a route that may be one family, it may be 5 families, and they'll show up. The clients have already been notified. They were told a day ago, hey, your groceries are coming around this time. The driver will let them know, hey, I'm on my way. Both times we reinforce, please don't open the door. Make sure you wipe down everything when you get it inside, and preferably cook all food. And those are just some recommendations that we've heard from the CDC. So then the driver shows up, knocks on the door if they want. They don't even have to knock on the door. They leave the groceries and they leave. And, I think we can't stop people from answering the door and wanting to say hi, but, everyone's instructed to keep their distance. And
yeah,
that's all we can do. We've got gloves for everybody. Like I said, we're working on masks for all of our volunteers now. So we're trying as hard as we can to keep people as safe as we can, and sending them with many pairs of gloves to change as often as they want. Yeah.
Well, that's great. That's great. How's y'all's supply of like protective gear? Do you need more? Is there a need for that, or are you stocked up?
We have a lot of gloves. We're really good on gloves. Obviously, we could use, and we have a lot of cleaning products. Hand sanitizer is something that everybody wants, and I don't exactly know how we're going to find it. I'm hoping to get Old Fourth Ward to give us some alcohol or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think if people are interested and are really I think that's a really awesome resource to have. I think, in addition to us needing cleaning supplies, I think that our clients could use cleaning supplies at home. Like, we're not really sure what they have in terms of, how do we want to, what can they wipe down this food with? So, and clients need so much toilet paper. Everybody's asking for toilet paper. And, when we go to Sam's Club, we can buy one big box of toilet paper. But, so we're at least giving people something, but it's definitely something that people keep asking for. And a lot of folks are asking for like diapers for seniors and for children. And that's a thing that's, we set out to provide food, and now we're realizing like, yeah, day-to-day life requires a lot of things that we, don't necessarily have. So I guess I started by talking about what I needed, but also there's a lot of things that our clients need.
Well, I just want to make sure that you're seeing the comments down here, because there's been a few suggestions for you down there. So even if you want to hop off, or when you hop off, just make sure you scroll through those, because there's been good suggestions from Sara in there. And it looks like Eva wants to connect with you, so I'll try and facilitate that afterwards. But just real quick, how can people support you right now? Obviously, they can donate or they can sign up to volunteer. But where would they do that, and what kind of roles are you looking to fill?
We need everything, honestly. I think the nature of COVID-19 is that people are always getting exposed. So despite the fact that we have a volunteer list of over 200, like, people are getting exposed all the time, and we're so grateful that they're being honest with us. And people are, we ask if you are over 65, if you are, even living with someone who's sick, like, do not show up. So we always need more volunteers. We also need financial support, because we are buying a lot of groceries for families. I think today we dropped like $1,400 at Sam's Club, 5 shopping carts full of food.
Wow.
Part of the families that we're trying to feed. So right now in our Instagram profile, there's a link to the GoFundMe, but I can also, you can just message us and I'll send you the volunteer sign up form. We have a form where you can kind of specify what you're interested in, and there's opportunities to do everything at home. You can do communications, or if you want to get out in the community and help pack or deliver, there's opportunities for that as well.
All right, everybody, you heard it here first. CFM's DMs are open, so feel free to hit them up. We got a quick question in from the comment section. Where are y'all aggregating? Do you want to speak to that a little bit?
Yeah, we rent a space in Southwest Atlanta that we've had for about 2 years now at a church. And so we aggregate there. And this week, we're starting a partnership with Soul Shine. And so they will be another depot for us to aggregate and then distribute to our delivery drivers from. Which is awesome. We're so grateful. They've kind of come in. They have a lot of space in a commercial kitchen, and they have relationships with distributors, so they can buy wholesale. So hopefully this whole Sam's Club part of this is going away.
All right, cool. Well, I certainly wish you the best of luck, and everyone who's tuning in, spread the word, and if y'all can support, please do so. Great to see you, Katherine. Thank you.
Sorry. I had to.
Yeah, well, I hope you had a fun Instagram live experience, and we'll catch you again soon.
Okay. See ya.
All right, bye-bye. We remove Concrete Jungle from the chat. Okay, last guest today is our first repeat guest. I'm very excited to talk with Sara of Community Farmers Markets about their new online market. Wait. Hold up, we got a request here. There we go. Add Sara. We're very excited to talk about the new online market that they are or have launched. Sara, what's going on?
Hey, what's happening?
You know, just hanging out in the quarantine studios.
Yeah, feeling you. I agree with what you said earlier. This was a very good excuse to get up and take a shower.
Yeah.
It's getting weird at my house.
You need a little bit of pressure sometimes, because on Zoom you can just cancel you can just not do video, and you can kind of hide a little bit.
Yeah.
But here, there's no escape.
There's been a few meetings in the past few weeks where I kind of had to run and grab a more appropriate top shirt, like something with a button or a collar, and then run back and be like, I'm wearing clothes, I'm dressed. So
Yeah, I woke up like this. It's fine.
yeah.
You have probably been the busiest person in local food this week. I mean, there's probably a couple of other people who could claim the title, but I know you have been extremely hard at work building out an entire online platform. You gave me a little bit of a preview of it last week, and I was really blown away. Went ahead and made my purchases earlier today. It's an extremely effective system. So far, so good. But can you just tell everyone a little bit about how y'all came to make this decision and how things are kind of working, from kind of all aspects?
Yeah. So I think that what we wanted to do, and the idea came from trying to mimic the experience of going to a farmer's market as closely as possible. When you go to a farmer's market, you can shop with the farmer you know. You can get flowers from one place and bread from another place. It's not just a box from one farm or an aggregation of farms that you don't choose. You get to go to the tents you want to support and shop at. And a lot of our customers have relationships with these farms and have been buying from them for years, and they want to patronize those people. So by creating an online shopping experience for now that replaces the experience of being at a farmer's market as closely as possible, we could make that experience feel a little bit more natural. So that's why we decided to go with a sort of a la carte. You can purchase what you want from whom you want, but online.
And can you just drop or let everyone know what the URL is and then what the process is for ordering? Because I think
Yes.
The window is now closed. Is that correct?
The window for this week is closed. We closed at noon today. The online address is shopcfmatl.org. You can also get there from going to our website, which is just cfmatl.org, and pressing the shop hyperlink at the navigation. The site's still live. You just can't purchase right now. It'll be back open next week, Wednesday at 10 a.m. So that is how it works, and it went really well. I was moved to tears, to be honest, watching these orders come through and seeing customers support different people in one order. It was just really touching. I'm happy to say that it was a huge success, and phase 1 was a huge success. Phase 2 will be us aggregating these orders, and we will see how that looks. I'm glad I can report to you once that's done, because right now it's all high hopes, but I think it'll go well. We've got some pretty fabulous minds on our team who are going to work to make it as smooth as possible. And like I said, I do want to give a shout out to how successful this was. We had over 250 orders and over $16,500 in sales.
Wow, that's so cool for week 1.
For 2 days. So.
Yeah, that's amazing. I'm sure you feel quite validated, because I know how hard you worked on just setting it all up. And just again, from my experience, it was very easy to follow the steps. It was very clear on what was happening.
Good.
Just to give a quick bit of background too, you order Wednesday through Friday, and then it's, at least for this week, you pick it up next Wednesday at the site of your choice.
That's right. One of our 5 farmers markets locations: Ponce, Decatur, Oakhurst, East Atlanta, and Grant Park. Yep. So you get to choose. We're going to deliver them in insulated grocery bags, so we're trying to maintain freshness and quality as much as possible. It might even feel a little bit fresher. I know when I go to the farmer's market, I don't carry an insulated tote, and then I get home and my greens are a little wilty, so hopefully it'll be good quality and high measure of control. So we're really trying to give people a fabulous shopping experience, even though it can't be in person.
I know.
Yeah.
And this may be something y'all are still figuring out, or I actually could depend on the site, but what is the pickup process sort of looking like as you envision it right now?
Yeah, we have, we'll be sending out emails to customers probably Monday, updating them on what this process will look like. So we're just sort of finalizing it now, but in all likelihood, what we have planned is that 2 people from our team will be at every pickup location so that we can move through it relatively quickly. It's not going to get too backed up, hopefully. We have a 2-hour window between 4 and 6 p.m. And people can drive up. In most locations, we want to have it be drive up, you pump your trunk, we'll put your things in the back of your car. No reason to ever even get out of your car if we can accommodate that. Of course, if anybody feels more comfortable parking and coming and picking up their things, that's also fine. We just want to keep as many options for as little contact as possible open to whomever wants to take advantage of that.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And then just for any farmers, is this now sort of a vehicle that farmers who may not typically be in the markets can take advantage of?
Yeah, I think that's the plan, is that we want to allow anyone who is selling in Atlanta at farmers markets, even if it's not ours, to be able to be a part of this.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, I think we've kind of covered the basics, but is there anything that you wanted to share or just reiterate regarding this whole process?
No, I think the thing that I just want to say again is how grateful I am for the community that showed up and supported us, the farmers and vendors who worked with us and were patient with us as we got their things uploaded into the system. It's going to be expanding from week to week, so definitely check back and shop next week too, because I think now that people have seen that this is it's a solid plan and it's a good alternative for now, that more people will want to get signed up. So hopefully we'll have even more inventory to shop from. And it's just really touching to have the community show up for us, and I'm grateful. I'm really grateful to be of service, and I'm grateful to work on a team at CFM who has the ability to provide for farmers and provide for the community at once.
Yeah, no, it's a really special thing, and I'm really looking forward to the moment when we can gather collectively and maybe raise a glass and just acknowledge all of the hardship, but also the wonderful things that have come as well.
There's been a lot of innovation and scrappiness in the community. It's been exciting to watch, and not ideal, but exciting.
Right, yeah, no, exactly. All right, Sarah, well, thank you so much for joining us. It was great seeing you again.
You too.
And good luck with the continuation of the store.
Thank you.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, everybody. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Appreciate y'all asking some questions and dropping in the comments. Just a quick recap. We were speaking with Eva Dickerson at Thomasville Heights Farm. Thank you so much, Eva, for joining us. Katherine Kennedy really doing some incredible work at Concrete Jungle. If you missed that interview, she said they can definitely use your support. So go and check out Concrete Jungle ATL. You can donate on their website, or you can sign up to volunteer. They're also in need of some more protective equipment if you have any connections with that. And of course, we just talked with Sara at Community Farmers Markets, who has just been incredibly hard at work building out this online store along with the rest of the team. I know that Katie Hayes is tuning in, and she has just been doing some really magnificent work. It's been incredible to watch her and her team mobilize so quickly and effectively. So just thanks again for all the hard work you're doing. Once again, for anybody who may have recently become unemployed or in need of food, Concrete Jungle is there to help. Also, Wholesome Wave can help you get signed up for SNAP and EBT. Can be, yeah. I'm so happy to help you get your first Instagram video, Catherine. We are doing this every week, Friday at 1:00. So feel free to tune in. We'd love to see you, and yeah, we'll be back next week. So have a good weekend, and we'll see you then.